All right, wonderful. Well, nice to meet all of you here virtually, if I haven't before, and for those guests, welcome. Yes, as Sharon mentioned, I am Karen Liz Albert. I'm the owner and founder of a company called Behind Your Curtain, and I specialize in helping entrepreneurs and small business owners, real estate agents, to understand how to strategically and effectively use social media so that they can actually connect with those that have a high demand for what it is that you have to offer, so that you actually start generating some new business and some sales as a result of the efforts. You know, when this whole stay-at-home order launched a few months ago, I put together this presentation, and I've been giving it quite frequently over the past several weeks because it's really very relevant right now. So hopefully, if you guys have pen and paper, or I know that Simon actually put in the chat the workbook, right? That's what you gave them, was the worksheet.
Yep.
If they could print that out and fill that out. If not, pen and paper, that's great, because I am going to go through quite a lot of information in this presentation and really helping you, hopefully, at the end of this, help you have a really good understanding of what can you be doing today in the virtual world to still sort of stay top of mind and relevant to your community. Because I think we can all pretty much agree with, this is really not the time for us to be asking people to go into their pocketbooks. Everybody is just sort of a little apprehensive about, how am I going to be spending my money? Should I be spending my money? When is this all going to really kind of come to an end, and what is it going to look like? And so I want to just kind of help give you some ideas and some tips and some actual tools that you can go in and apply today to really add value to your community through some online virtual tools. So let me go ahead and share my screen here. And let me know when you're able to see. So I've got the presentation, just the cover slide. Can you see that?
Yep.
Okay, fantastic. So the sort of overarching message that I want you guys just all keep in mind right now is that whenever we are using any type of social media marketing platform, the most effective strategic way of using these platforms is making it not about us and really all about our customers. And so what I'm going to focus on today is primarily ways that you can find information that is really of highest demand of your customers, what that information looks like, how you can then craft that information into pieces of value, and then also ways that you can use the social media platforms to push that valuable information out to your customers and your online community. And then also ways to be able to use some of these top social media platforms to just nurture the relationships that you have. Because I think right now, coming from a place of contribution is really what everybody is wanting. And I really think we have a choice right now. We can either curl up in a corner, or we can show up in a way that really shows that we want to be visible and we want to be seen and we want to add value. And I believe that how we show up during this current climate is going to definitely have an impact on the relationships and how we are seen and the success of our business as we sort of come out the other end of all of this. So I'm going to go ahead and hop into my slides. And what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be hopping between this presentation document and the actual websites that I'm speaking about in these presentation. So step one, and if any of you have ever heard me speak before on social media, I am all about finding out who is your ideal consumer. If we try to be everything to everybody, we are not going to be effective in marketing. And this is really marketing 101, right? We know that if ever we put a marketing campaign together, we really need to be clear on the who is it that has the need for this marketing campaign. What is the problem that we're solving as a result of whatever it is that we're offering to them? And then ultimately, speaking to the concerns that the consumer has and being able to sort of craft a solution to whatever those concerns are. So we could sort of sit here and assume all day long what those problems and those concerns are, but I'm going to give you a couple of sites that will allow you to eliminate that assumption and actually do some keyword research that's going to help you get in the head of your potential consumer. What's concerning them today? And so if you really kind of get a higher awareness of what is it that they're concerned with, then you can start crafting your content and your messaging around, hey, I care about you. I get you. I see what you're concerned in. I went out and actually spent some time finding some content that might help address these concerns and might help just make this whole time a little bit easier for all of us. So there's a couple of sites here. I'm going to hop over to my other website. Can you see this? It says Keywords Everywhere on there. Yep. Okay, thanks. So Keywords Everywhere, I absolutely love. This is a plugin. It used to be free. Now, I mean, it's still incredibly cheap. You could give it $10 and you'll still get like 900,000 searches in it. So it's very, very economical, but it's keywordseverywhere.com. You download the plugin, you can install it into Firefox, Chrome. And what it does is that when you then go into, let's say we're going to go to Google. And when you type in words, so let's just say we're going to do stay at home, right? So we've got some keywords that are popping up underneath here. And then you'll also notice that there's some words to the right here, that these are the number of people that are searching on a daily basis in the United States for these particular words. Now, you can't get as granular geographically with this. Like you can't say, I just want to look at Denver, but it is for the whole United States. But if you're seeing there's a pretty large volume nationwide, the chances are it's probably still going to be pretty relevant in your backyard as well. So let's just say that maybe you cater to women as a part of your niche market. You can come in and click on stay-at-home mom. You'll see the number of people that are searching on a monthly basis. But the other thing that you'll get is keywords related keywords that Keywords Everywhere is also pulling up for you. So you can also find some other keywords that are kind of helpful to search. And again, this is really just coming from a perspective of, I don't want to just make it all about me. I want to eliminate the assumption. Let me find out what it is that my demographic is really concerned with right now. So Keywords Everywhere is a great tool to use. And again, like I said, it's so economical that it's worth it to be able to just see what's the volume that is being searched for these days. And then another tool is a website that is called answerthepublic.com. And so this is, for the most part, what I use it for, just to kind of get some high level questions, is free. So you can, at the, above the fold of the site, you'll get the search box right here. So depending upon what your business is, you can just type in a particular keyword, but you could also put in things that are sort of relevant to, like that, stay at home. You could even put in things like pandemic or business surviving. How do I stay in business? So you can put in words that you think your consumer might have concerns with. And when you hit search, it's then going to give you, in a very kind of cool display, this sort of hub and spoke wheel model that's going to give you all of the words that people are using. So stay at home, where, so you can kind of see, if we look sideways, will stay at home be extended? Will the stay at home be extended? So you can kind of get a sense of what is it that people are asking right now. I know we all have to sort of turn our heads a little sideways when we want to look at it, but it's which, will, who, where, what, why. And then if you scroll down even farther, it gives you the 38 different prepositions. So you can kind of even stay at home with vitality. So it's kind of all different. I don't know why it stay at home with Richard and Judy is so high, but maybe we need to find out who's Richard and Judy. So this is kind of just a fun other tool that you can use to, again, kind of, let's get out of our own head and just do some keyword research that's going to help us to eliminate the assumption. So that's kind of starting from step one. Let's find out what the consumer needs. And then when maybe we get some ideas, then we can turn that into, how do we then educate and inform the consumer as a result of these needs that we've identified that they possibly have. So one of the ways that you can educate and inform is maybe write a blog article about what the high consumer need words are that they're searching for. Couple of sources that I love to use. One is Fiverr.com. So if you guys are not familiar with Fiverr, it's with 2 R's. I am now your new best friend because this tool is, this website is really amazing. You can find just about anything that you need on here for a very reasonable. It used to be everything was $5 and now it's expanded, but it's still incredibly reasonable. As you can see, $20, $10, $40, $35, and you can come up into the different sections. And right here is writing and translation. And you can go into articles and blogs, and you can basically give them the keywords and say, this is kind of what I want it to sound like. This is my voice. I want you to include maybe these links to my websites. They'll write a blog article, and then you'll be able to use that and push that into your social media marketing as well. Pinpoint Local is another service that I like to use. They'll do the same thing. You give them the information, they'll write a blog article, and they'll also create social media posts that'll go along with your blog as well. So you're kind of getting some added benefit content in there also. So that's kind of blog is one. The second is maybe you can create a video, a how-to video on there. And there is a brand new tool that YouTube just launched, which I love, and it is its new video creation video builder. And I'm excited about this because YouTube had plans to roll this out in 2020, but it was only going to roll it out to its like highest subscribers, the big influencers, and it was going to have a fee for it. Now, because of the current economic situation, it's rolled it out to every business owner. So if you have a YouTube channel, just search for YouTube Video Builder. You'll go in and you'll have to request to be accepted by them, but I haven't heard anybody not get accepted yet. I just got accepted, and I'm really having a lot of fun playing around with it. You've got access now to some very high quality YouTube video building. You can use their templates, their music, it'll add captions, you can use their graphics. So you could have some content and maybe do a little video and then throw it into the video builder and really kind of beef that up so that it looks like it's a pretty high production value video. So that's a second way that you can add value to the consumer based on their needs. A third way is by creating a social media post, right? So you can find out, maybe you take that blog and you take that video and then you want to push it out into social media. So one of the tools that I love that I find that a lot of people, business owners, don't necessarily know about is that you have something, when you have a Facebook business page, you can use something now that's called the Facebook Creator Studio, which gives you the ability. So you just go to facebook.com/Creator Studio. And what this now allows you to do is create and build and schedule out all of your Facebook posts. So like all of us, we have a job, we have a profession, we're a little busy. So you may want to actually queue up your content in advance so that you can just set it and forget it. So the Creator Studio allows you to create your post, videos, you can go live. But the nice thing that I like about this is that it gives you the ability to not only schedule your Facebook content, but you can also now schedule your Instagram content. So nowhere before, even in the Instagram app, could you schedule future posts in Instagram. There are some third-party tools that allow you to do it, but it's still somewhat clunky and labor intensive because you still have to monitor it on your phone and manually push it into your Instagram. Using the Creator Studio of Instagram, as long as you have a Facebook business page and an Instagram business page and the two are connected together through your Facebook settings, you can actually go in and create an Instagram post and schedule and queue it, and then it'll automatically go out into Instagram as well. So it's kind of a nice way of feeling like, you know, maybe you can create some of this good high value content and manage it at the same time with your busy schedule as well. So that's another way, is looking at it through Facebook. Another way of being able to kind of educate and inform is also back through Facebook. And I think we're all pretty familiar with Facebook Live. That's been a popular way of sort of getting in front of our community for a while. But the other thing that is become quite popular and almost even a little bit more popular than Facebook Lives are Facebook watch parties. So the difference between a Facebook Live and a Facebook watch party is, when you do a Facebook Live, you are the entertainment. You have hopped onto your camera, you're sitting there talking, or you're interviewing someone else, and the people in Facebook land are watching you as the entertainment. The difference between being the person that's doing the Facebook Live and a Facebook watch party is that you're actually, when you start a watch party, you're inviting people to come and watch videos with you. So it's kind of like, let's pop the popcorn and let's watch a movie. Instead of it being a movie, it's just videos that are in Facebook. And this is a great opportunity for maybe those of you that did create videos in the past, or maybe it's not even you that created videos in the past. So maybe you've done some keyword research and you find that your demographic is really concerned about how in the world do I, take care of my little kids that are running around because I can't send them off to daycare. You could actually start a watch party and search in Facebook for any videos that might have spoken to that. They don't even have to be yours, but it's a really great way to kind of bring the community together so that you are still staying relevant, still staying top of mind, adding value, but you're not having to kind of come up and create your own content. So the way you do a watch party is when you are on your business page and you're about to do a post, one of the options that you'll have down below right here is watch party. And when you click on watch party, you get this pop-up. Facebook has kind of created these 6 different segments of suggested videos for you, ones you've already watched, Facebook page videos, any live recent videos, maybe you've saved some videos that are on your personal, but you don't have to use any of the ones that are in these buckets. You can actually come up here and search for videos. So let's just say that I want to start a watch party with some of the videos that I've done on my page. So these are all of the videos that I've done on my business page. And you'll notice there's an add to queue button to the right. So I can say, you know what, I want to do a watch party that will do this one. But then I also want to add this one. And maybe we'll also do this one. So you can have as many videos in there as you want, but just keep in mind, you don't want it to be really, really long because we're really kind of just doing this to, hey, I want to be able to hop in, let's watch some videos, add some value, and then hop back out. So when you hit done, it creates a post for you, and you'll also see the videos that you've got in queue. You can go back into add videos, you can remove some, you can add some new ones. You can write something in here that says, hey, let's pop the popcorn. Here's a bunch of social media how-to videos. I've got some extra time. You're probably sitting at home, let's get together. And so when you hit post, the Facebook will actually broadcast out to your community that you have started a Facebook Live. So people can just hop in when they see that notice, and they'll be able to sit there and watch those videos with you. So the nice thing with you sort of being a part of the party is that you can be engaged with the chats and the comments that are going on the side panel, as opposed to, a lot of times when you're live, you're a little bit too distracted with what it is that you're saying. This gives you an opportunity to really engage with the community through the chats and everything. And the other thing too is people that are in the watch party, they can recommend a video so that maybe they have one that they feel like, hey, this would also be really great to add to whatever sort of this watch party theme is. I have a client that has all natural skin and hair care products. And she posted a video, like one is just one of those GIFs of like one of those little spurting water fountains thing, that had the really relaxing kind of like sounds to it. And it got tons of attention. So she created an event in Facebook that said, hey, I'm going to do watch parties and we're just going to like get into Zen time. And I'm going to find videos that are just like, relaxing and have cool music. And that's what she's been doing. So it really didn't have anything to do with her product. She's not pitching her product, but she's gained a lot more attention to her page and product simply because she's finding a creative way to kind of bring people together through these watch parties. So it's a really, really creative, non-invasive, again, we're not asking people to go into their pocketbook right now, but there's a lady on here that says that she's selling Mary Kay. You could possibly even go back and look for videos that were done from other people that promote the product, or maybe there's ones that you've done in the past and you could do a watch party. And you can invite other people that can also kind of become a host on the watch party as well. There's lots of fun things and creative ways that you can use the Facebook watch party for sure. So that's the fifth way of educating and informing. So we've kind of up to this point talked about, let's find out our consumer needs, and then let's find out how we can then educate, inform our consumers based on, what their needs are. So now I want to talk about how you can use social media to just sort of stay connected and nurture the relationships that you have with the other businesses that are in your social media platforms. So let's talk about Facebook for the moment. So let me hop back over here. So one of the strategies that I teach my clients when they are kind of wanting to know how to really maximize the use of their Facebook business page is to, and again, always going back to my number one priority and very important, is always get really clear on who is it that you want to cater your business to. Again, being everything to everybody it does not allow you to really maximize the usage of these social media platforms. So, for me and my business, I decided about 3 or 4 years ago that I was going to primarily focus on 2 niche markets: real estate agents and authors. And since I've done that, my business has tripled. Now, 20% of my customer base doesn't fall into either one of those buckets. And that's okay, because my services apply to everybody, but I market very focused and very niche-y. And by being very focused and niche-y, it's allowed my brand to become incredibly visible within those niches, which has allowed it to spill over into other types of businesses as well. And the other benefit of me getting really clear on the who is also then thinking about what are the other businesses that cater to those who, right? To that niche market, and being able to connect my business page with some of those other businesses that cater to that market, so that by connecting my Facebook business page to other businesses that cater to that market, I'm now able to allow my brand and kind of become visible and leverage all of the work that the marketing of this other business page has already done. Because if they're working on gathering a community, in my example of real estate agents, then I can kind of leverage and become visible into that community that they've already kind of done the work of gathering. So I'm going to teach you how you can connect your business page with other business pages in Facebook that cater to that same demographic. And so when you're on your Facebook business page, you have access to an area of your business page that's called the Pages feed, similar to your news feed that you have. So if you'll go home, you'll be able to look at the posts that are being made by all of your Facebook friends. And so you'll be able to see all of those posts. You're the only one that can see those posts. You can share them onto your personal page if you want to. I'm going to show you an area on your business page where you'll have the exact same type of news feed, except that instead of seeing posts from your friends, you're going to be seeing posts from other business pages that you have decided to connect your business page to. So when you're on your home tab here, you're going to scroll down, and on the right-hand side, you're going to look for this section right here that says response rate, number of followers, post reach, and then this right here, this link, it says see Pages feed. So when you click on Pages feed, it takes you to an entirely separate section. Only you, as the administrator of your business page, has access and can see this, the posts coming from these pages. So I have liked several pages, and as a result, their posts are now showing up on my Pages feed. So again, very similar to your personal news feed, you're the only one that can see these, but instead of them being from your friends, they're from Facebook business pages that you have liked as your business page. And no one on my business page sees any of these unless I decide to share them onto my business page. So the power of this is to really think about what are the pages that cater to your community, and go in and click the green button up here, search for those business pages, like their business page, and then this page will then refresh every time you come in here, and you'll start to see the posts show up from those other business pages. The benefit is that you might find content that you can share onto your page. So that's adding value to your community, right? But two is definitely like other business pages also that maybe you already have some sort of a professional relationship with. Think about your clients. If you have a database of customers and they have business pages, you should definitely go through the process of searching and liking their business page as your business, so that their posts will show up on your news feed here every day. And literally all you have to do is come in here and go like or comment, because what's going to happen is you're always going to be acting as your business page, not your personal. You'll always be acting as your business page. So this is a really great way for you to sort of stay constant and visible and nurture the relationship. And if, let's say, you decide to connect with a lot of the businesses that are in your local geographical area, like some of the local restaurants or hospitality, they're all struggling right now, and they are absolutely posting on their business page what it is that they are needing from the community to survive. Or maybe they're like, hey, we've got free pizza Tuesday, or takeout only, or hey, we're open for business now. So if you're someone that really kind of wants to also cater to your community, these are great ways for you to like those business pages and share their posts onto your page, because they're going to get notified every time you engage. Those business pages will get notified. So it's another really great way for you to nurture the relationships that you have with those businesses. I'm going to show you one more time how I got to the pages feed. When you're on your page and on your home tab, you're going to scroll down here, and on the right hand side, you'll see this box that's going to have response rate, followers, post reach, and then a see pages feed link. And so that's how you're going to be able to get there. So definitely, just spend some time. You don't have to go crazy liking every single page, because you really want there to be a bit of a strategy in there. But it's a great way for you to really, your business to become very visible to other relevant businesses that are in your niche market or your geographical market, or both. For an example, for like real estate agents, your niche market and your geographical area is also, those are two very relevant. So Facebook pages feed is one way to nurture. Another way, if you're a big Instagram user, because I know some people are Facebook, some people are Instagram, the power of hashtags in Instagram is amazing for gaining reach and visibility and exposure. But the other thing that I wanted to show you was you can follow Instagram users, but you can also follow hashtags. And a really powerful strategy of following hashtags is that it will then allow you to see the posts in Instagram of other Instagram users that are using those particular hashtags. So if you are in a particular industry, you may want to follow the hashtags relevant to your industry, so that you'll start to be able to see all the posts showing up from that industry. If you know who your niche market is, find out what the hashtags are that the niche market is using, follow those hashtags. It's very simple to follow a hashtag. You can either type it in up at the top up here. So if you did hashtag behind your curtain, anytime that you type in a hashtag in Instagram and click on it, it takes you to a page that's dedicated to that particular hashtag. And then you can see all the posts that have been made by that particular hashtag. So you can either follow the hashtag of the company, or you can follow the hashtags that are very relevant to your industry and your niche. So it's just kind of another way for you to just sort of strategically focus your efforts when you go into Instagram. If you really want to nurture the relationship of those types of businesses or your customer, then follow the hashtags and just click and look and see what's being posted on those hashtags. Because again, it's just a matter of double clicking and giving it a heart and they'll get notified. So it's another great strategy for you to be able to just nurture the relationships through Instagram. And if you ever wonder what Instagram hashtags you're following, when you go to your bio page, you can click on the following number here. By default, it gives you people, but if you go to the right here, it shows you hashtags. So this is another way for you to kind of see, am I following the right hashtags, or maybe I want to clean that list up a little bit. Okay, so that is Instagram. And then another way, if maybe you are a big LinkedIn user and you really feel like your pool of your community are the professionals and you really want to kind of leverage nurture the relationships with LinkedIn, hashtag strategy in LinkedIn as well. So when you're in LinkedIn, whoops, sorry about that. Let me actually go into mine. When you're in LinkedIn, and I love the fact that LinkedIn has now finally gotten on the hashtag bandwagon. I know probably some of you are probably like, okay, Karen. But I love the fact that you can follow hashtags in LinkedIn because, again, it gives you the ability to just get very, very strategic. So when you are on your home tab and you scroll down, and we see our lovely Sharon there talking to us, on the bottom, there is a followed hashtag list. So you want to think about two different strategies here, kind of like I was talking about in Instagram. Follow the hashtags that are relevant to your geographical area, the ones that are relevant to your niche market, and also the ones that are relevant to your industry as well. But another strategy to really kind of nurture the relationship is also find out what hashtags the companies use, if they are good at using their branded hashtag, and follow their company branded hashtag. Because if I literally just want to give Simon a whole bunch of love, I'm following his hashtag. So I can click on Denver Business Coach. I'm following it. And literally, I can just go click, like, right? I'm just going to go down and just continue to support Simon. So I want to do this because I am grateful for what Simon's doing. But guess what? Simon's getting a notification. Karen Liz Albert is liking, Karen Liz Albert is liking, Karen Liz Albert is liking, and maybe I'm even going to share a post. So if you maybe just like, here's my top 10 customers, I really want to nurture the relationship with them. This is the simplest way. Hopefully they're doing as well as Simon is, and he's using his branded hashtags in his posts, so that's how I'm able to see his posts show up here. Because if I click on the see more and I go down to the bottom, he's including his branded hashtag. So it's another flip side for you to remember to be putting your branded hashtag in your post as well, so that people can follow you and your hashtag also. So you can get to hashtags same way, search box, type up here hashtag. So maybe it's like Denver business, Denver, Colorado, Denver living, Denver real estate. So whichever hashtag it is, you just click on it, and then it gives you the option to follow. So the big difference is, by default, when you go into Instagram and you click on your home, all of the posts that you see here are from the ones that you are directly connected with. You have a connection with them, and that's why you're seeing their posts. But when you go to a hashtag that you're following, so because I also do work with authors, so publishing services in Instagram and LinkedIn is a great like potential referral business for me, right? So I'm following hashtag publishing services. So when I click on that, that gives me visibility into publishing companies that I'm possibly not connected with. This is a third, so that means I'm not connected. She's outside of my 3 degrees of separation connection. She's a freelance editor. I may want to connect with her because maybe she's, editing for authors. So you can kind of see how following hashtags and looking at all of the LinkedIn people that are using these hashtags really opens up the visibility into what you can see on your news feed versus the default, where all you're able to see on your news feed are those that you're already connected with. So by following these, you can find people that maybe you didn't know about that you want to connect with or follow. You can also engage with them. So if they didn't know about you, then they'll start to know about you. And then you could also possibly share content. So maybe you find content again that's relevant to the keywords that the community was searching for, and then you're able to kind of continue to add value by sharing content from other LinkedIn users that is all kind of in alignment with the same kind of need and concept. So those are the ways that we can look at tools that are available to us, as well as social media platforms and ways that we can kind of stay connected. A couple of other tools that I've used is this tool here that we're all on today, which is Zoom. I think everybody has become very familiar with Zoom now. But one of the things that I did when this stay-at-home order initially launched is that I just sent out an email to all of my clients, and I just said, hey, Wednesdays at noon, I'm going to have a Zoom. I'm going to be open, not a pitch fest. I'm not going to be selling. Let's just all get together and let's just talk about how we're surviving at this time. And it's been great. Sometimes I have 2 people, sometimes I have 20. And the fun thing is my clients have been able to kind of meet each other too. So you really just kind of think about another way of how do I show up right now and kind of create an opportunity for me to show that I'm not hiding, I'm not hibernating, I want to stay visible and stay connected. And then another is when I do invite my clients to a Zoom, I also give them the opportunity like, hey, maybe we haven't talked in a while, and here's a link to my calendar. So Calendly is another tool that I absolutely love. And the way that you can use Calendly the best that I like is that you can create your own events basically that you want to. So I can do a 1-hour training. I can just have a 1-hour Zoom call. I can do a 15-minute consultation. This is for my interview if you want to schedule a time. And this is all integrated with your calendar. So if you're blocked, they won't be able to schedule it. So you can kind of create what type of a call you want to set up and make available for your clients. And you can also ask them a bunch of sort of pre-qualifying questions beforehand. So if you really want to like find out like questions that you might be able to then prep for the call, they have to answer all of those beforehand. And so it's a great opportunity for you to just kind of open it up and allow maybe some clients that you haven't talked to for a while, a way for you to kind of just get back together and get connected to them again. So Calendly for the basic features and functionality is free, but as you start to kind of expand and add more onto it, some of the functionality you do have to pay for, but it's still very, very reasonable. And I mean, the beautiful thing is 95% of all of these tools that I've talked about, zero cost to you, zero. They're all free. So, I mean, this is such an incredible opportunity for us to be able to look at ways for us to stay visible during this time, because there's still a lot of people that are stuck at home, and guess where they're spending their time? They're all on the internet and they're on social media, and Facebook has reported unprecedented amounts of usage and volume. So I don't know. Let's look for a silver lining. So there's my top 10. That was a lot. It was kind of fast. I was like looking, I'm like, I want to make sure I fit this all in time. So happy to open up to any questions or anything. If anybody has any, I can stop sharing.
That was great, Karen. And I know for myself, there's like a few that I have like starred and highlighted. So this is a great opportunity for you guys to ask Karen any questions that you have, or she kind of flew through a couple of the sections. So if there's some things you want her to expand on, you can just take yourself off mute and jump on in with your question if you have any.
I have a question.
Go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, Karen, this is awesome stuff. As I mentioned in my note, I saw a lot of it. I know I didn't know a lot, but this shows there was a lot I didn't know. But the question, on the Zoom issue, so you're talking about sort of opening up to having a standing meeting that anybody can join,
Mm-hmm.
and you might get the word out via LinkedIn, for example.
I sent it out as an email to my customer base. I wanted to sort of keep it intimate and private to my clients. So I didn't blast it out like a social media post. But
Yeah.
that's my preference. I mean, if you wanted to open it up and say, hey, that could be a potential good lead generating. I was coming at it more from a, let me nurture the relationships that I have and let them know that I'm still here and available.
Yeah, and I don't want to monopolize all of your Q&A here, but one of my challenges is that finding a business owner who is ready to sell their business is very, very difficult. So I wonder, along the same lines of the question I asked, if it might be something that you would not post to all of your LinkedIn connections, but maybe to specific groups.
Yeah, so it sounds like you're looking at it more from a lead generation opportunity, right? New business?
Well, I think to educate first,
Yeah, sure.
and you have good educational, but even give people an opportunity to ask questions.
Yeah.
Because
Well, and I think, Greg, it's ideal too, because there's a lot of business owners that are very skeptical about how are they going to survive this current climate, right? So I think if you were to approach it more in a, go on to keywords or answer the public and see what the concerns are, find some keywords, and then create an event or a Zoom and use that title as, the keywords that they're using as the title for maybe you do a presentation or you just open it up and allow business owners to come in and answer and have some Q&A, but you're going to have to own some structure around it.
Right.
But yeah, absolutely. You could definitely look at it that way. And in terms of LinkedIn, you may want to look to who are other business owners, professionals that cater to business owners. So instead of going directly to the business owners, maybe go to like CPAs or, those that, already kind of have their foot in the door, maybe payroll, HR companies. So
Absolutely.
that maybe, that, and just reach out and say, hey, we're quid pro quo, like I could refer business to you, you to me, that kind of a thing.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Natalie.
Hey, Karen. I'm curious. So, out of all of the different ways that you've presented to stay visible with what's going on, if you think even beyond that, what is out of all these ways, what's been the most impactful way to reach your audiences, or that your other audiences that you've done this presentation for? What's been hopefully the easiest and way when you're not like a telegeek person?
Yeah. Well,
not that would be me, but
sure. So if I understand your question is, out of all of these kind of top 10 things, what's one that you have found could be sort of like the most effective?
Right.
Okay. So I think step one is definitely let's get out of our own head and get into the head of the consumer. And so definitely do some of that research to find out what's the concern that they have and the need. And then you look at which tool has the greatest populace of that particular demographic, because not every consumer lives on every social media platform, right? So you may have one that's way more on Facebook than maybe more on Instagram versus LinkedIn. And so I would really focus on using the platform where you know that you're going to get the greatest amount of eyeballs when it comes to that particular market that you're wanting to get in front of.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, good question. Anybody else? So in addition to this recording that I can send to you, Sharon, I can also send you guys the completed top 10. So it's got all of the answers and everything in that. So that might make it a little bit easier also for you guys on here to have it filled out, and then any of the people that didn't get an opportunity to be on here today.
Great. Thank you so much, Karen.
My pleasure.
This was super useful as always and just packed with great content. And I know there were several people who, you know, before were sending me emails saying, are you going to record? And, you know, they knew it was going to be good. So thank you.
Can I ask a question? We still have some time. I want to ask a question. You know, you started out with the presentation talking about it's really a time to nurture, right? And it's a certain hesitancy in industries, like people, should I spend money? Should I not spend money? What's going to happen this year? Like that's just an environment that we're speaking into. Is there, and at the same time, we're all people that need to generate sales and need to generate some kind of a conversion as well. How would you take it? What's the next step after visibility to potentially have a prospect conversation or have some kind of a segue into a sales conversation? Because I think there's some people that are naturally like to share and like to be visible, but then there's business owners. It's just like, it's part of the game and we got to do it. But at the end of the day, it's also meant to generate an ROI. So I don't know if you have any thoughts about it, because I think that's a dilemma that a lot of people are in right now as well. I don't know that there's a silver bullet answer, but whatever your thoughts are on that.
Yeah, I don't know there's a silver bullet answer either, but you know, to kind of give you a live example, what I was going to say to everybody on here is, if any of you are really questioning how you can optimize your use of social media, please visit behindyourcurtain.com and schedule a free consultation call with me, because I'd be happy to help you survive this current time, right? So that's the call to action. You have to show up first, and you have to show up a lot, unfortunately. That's just the reality of it. You've got to be the squeaky wheel, but you don't want to be showing up as the buy from me, buy from me, buy from me, because that's just annoying and people are just going to turn you off. So you have to show up in a way of adding value and nurturing. And then once you've shown up, you know, have the ask. There's nothing wrong with it, but make it very simple as here's my website, schedule a call. And I'm still not pitching, right? I'm still coming from a place of adding value. But you know, when this whole thing launched, my whole month of April, I was on a plane going and speaking at conferences, and that all shut down and we all fell into this panic, like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? So we all have to find a way to pivot in this situation. And I have just found, like, you guys all have knowledge. You know more about what you know than anybody else out there. And you just have to own that and realize that everybody wants to hear from somebody that knows more than they do. And we could come from a place of ego and say, no, I know everything. Well, those people probably aren't going to be successful, because that's just the reality of it, right? We want to learn because we want to grow. And each one of you on here has information that I would love to learn more on. So you just have to find a way of crafting it. Go do the research. What is it that the need is out there? Craft a message, put a presentation together, and then reach out to the people that already cater and have that community already in their back pocket, and just say, hey, I'd love to present. I want to add value. And then you've got that call to action at the end of it. I've done this presentation, gosh, probably 20 times, 25 times now. I didn't pitch, right? I didn't sell. I mean, I'm going behind the scenes with you guys now, right? But I didn't pitch at all. Nowhere in there was me asking you to go into your pocketbook, right? But I'm sure every one of you on this call, after listening to me, kind of knows that I know my stuff, right? So that's just what you have to do, is you just got to figure out a way to take the knowledge and just use these platforms. It's like I said, they're free, you guys. They're free. And we don't know how long they're going to be free. So I'm not sure if that directly answered your question, Simon.
That was perfect. Beautiful.
Okay.
Thank you. Yeah, very good. Thank you.
We all have to kind of get out of our own way, right? Because there's a whole, like, I may not know enough, or maybe nobody will listen to me, or they may not think I'm worthy, and all of that, the mind frick that we that we do to ourselves. But honestly, we all have so much to add value, And there's so many people out there that are really afraid right now. And you can give them comfort, and you can help them understand that there are ways to survive this and come out the other end. So it's sort of like we have a responsibility. That's the way I look at it. I get up every day feeling like I have a responsibility to share what I know and my knowledge and my passion with others as many times as I can, with as many as I possibly can. And then it just comes back.
Any other questions for Karen? I could pick her brain for the next half hour because this is like free expert help.
Great stuff. Thank you very much, Karen.
My pleasure, Dean. Thank you. Yeah.
Anyone else?
Sure. Karen, have you seen anybody like, and I'll go to LinkedIn because that's what I'm most familiar with. My Facebook and Instagram, that's all more personal, but for business, is there anybody out there that you've seen just run with this and really make a quick pivot and adapt to the time, and somebody that I could be following and not recreate the wheel, but kind of see, and besides yourself, obviously, but is there anybody else out there that you could highlight that may be worth a follow to say, you could learn a thing or two about how they're out there out there creating value and making the most.
Yeah. Who's your ideal client? Oh, you just muted yourself.
Business owners, and there's no specific industry. I think there was a gentleman talking about people that are selling their businesses. I mean, we're probably looking at the same type of people, but really it's people that are looking to maximize their cash flow, to improve their cash flow, as where I would start. But is there anybody, again?
So I'll tell you the ones that kill it are the ones that are focused on exactly who they want to get in front of. So I would suggest, Brandon, that you spend a little bit of time kind of unpacking that ideal client a little bit more, because you're still a little broad.
No, I know it well. I just don't want to make it about me. I know exactly who mine, again, this isn't about, I was just saying, okay, who, not necessarily from a micro level, like what person doing what I'm doing, but more who's doing a really good job of using social media effectively, right? And because I have a very good grasp of who I want to be in front of, and there's a ton of stuff that I can implement right away. So this has been awesome. Thank you. But I was really thinking more, here's somebody that's doing this thing, and they're doing a good job of pushing themselves out there and adapting.
So you're just saying more like in general, not specifically for you. Yeah. Well, I don't know that anybody comes off the top of my head that if I was to say for.
I have one.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to make a shameless plug here for one of our clients. And it's probably the one industry that you don't want to work with, Brandon. But Holy Stromboli in Fort Lupton, she's a restaurant owner, and
oh yeah,
she closed that. She was as hard hit as you can possibly be hit by all of this, and she pivoted, and she was out there on Facebook. Like, best is to follow on Facebook, not on LinkedIn.
Okay.
But she probably did 1 or 2 Facebook Lives a day for weeks, led in the community, like really got herself out there in a way that inspired and that has carried the business through way above what the average business would do without.
That's awesome. I'll check that out. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'll think of some, Brandon. I'll shoot them over to you.
Hey, Karen, I was just curious. I know you gave us kind of the top 10 things. It's a pretty laborious list. What kind of commitment does it take to put a program like this together, and what kind of effort, what kind of time does it take to actually maintain this kind of, that level of marketing?
So I know I sound like a broken record, but the reason why most business owners feel as if it's so laborious and it takes a really long time is two things missing: is they don't have a strategy and they don't have the step-by-step instructions. So if you have a strategy and you're really clear on who it is that you want to get in front of, then you are really clear on, these are the top 5 things that I should be focusing on, Facebook every day, and here's the top 5 in LinkedIn. You really should not have to spend more than 30 to 60 minutes a day at the most, because you're going to get really clear on, and a lot of it also, when you get clear on the who, you get to leverage content. You don't have to be the originator of content. You get to look out there at who's doing it well and who's catering to my community already. And you just get to keep swiping from, I don't mean swipe, but you share from them, right? So if we're trying, and I know I go back to that, if you're trying to just sort of get your name out there and blast it out to as many as possible, that's a lot of work. And you don't usually see return on your efforts, So when you can really get focused on narrow on the who, then you just start to look at what is it that they have a need for, and then find other content that's already satisfying that need. And you just start actually sharing and plugging into everybody that has already kind of gathered that community online and social media. And also because you've got the ability to use tools like Creator Studio, where you can kind of build the copy in advance and then schedule and queue it out.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah.
Any other questions for Karen? All right, well, I think then we'll wrap it up. Karen, thank you very much. I know several people had to hop off, and they did so with gratitude and appreciation for everything they got. One of our guests said it was the best use of his time this whole month so far. So thank you, Karen, and thank you everyone very much for participating. And we will have the recording of this presentation, and we'll post that for everyone. And wishing you all a great rest of the week.
Namaste.
All right.
But yeah,
Thank
thank
you,
you,
Karen.
everyone.
Thanks so much,
Yes,
guys.
yes.
Take
Thanks,
care.
Simon. Thanks, Aaron. Thanks, Karen.
Bye.
Appreciate it.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.